Hello everyone and welcome back to another Minecraft 1.11 tutorial where I will be showing you how to build this mobile shulker box storage system behind me. This is a group of 5 shulker boxes which you can move to another location, and if we have a look in here you can see we've got some building blocks, we've got our minecart rails and some redstone supplies. Let's say we were going to go work on a project in a different part of our base and we didn't feel like walking back and forth. Well, that's what this contraption is for. We can press the button and off go the shulker boxes. If we go through to the other side you can see there's another one of them here waiting for that minecart to come along, and there you go, our shulker boxes have now been deployed in this place, so it saves us taking many trips travelling back and forth. You can see that the inventories here are intact, and then when we want to send them around to the other side we can press this button and the minecart hopper down below will pick them all up, bring them around and then deploy them back on this side. So it's a great way to move storage around. How does it work? That is a good question. Well, the minecart hopper comes into the station as you just saw, and each of these hoppers right here take a shulker box each. They put it into the dispenser below, the redstone behind it powers that so that the shulker boxes will be deployed at the front of the station ready for us to use. Now that's what happens when the minecart comes into the station. When we want it to leave, we press this button right here. We activate the redstone behind it, which goes up to the top and powers these pistons. These are the pistons that break the shulker boxes and allow us to pick them up. So that redstone signal also travels over here and it unpowers this redstone torch. This is currently locking all of these hoppers, so they can't take items out of the shulker boxes which are above them. However, they're going to become unpowered once the pistons at the top have turned them into items. So then the hoppers are going to pick up the shulker boxes, and down here this piece of redstone will send this minecart hopper on its way. So it's going to go underneath, pick up all of the shulker boxes that were just broken and send them around to the other side. So this contraption is not without its flaws. First of all, the slabs at the front here are very necessary. Without them, occasionally these shulker boxes can land on the blocks below. Fortunately though, it seems like with the slabs at the front there, it works 100% of the time. You may have looked at this design and thought you could expand it more than 5 blocks, and that was my original intention. I wanted this to work with a minecart chest so you could send lots of shulker boxes at once. Unfortunately, the hoppers at the bottom aren't very reliable. I tried many things, and the most reliable thing that you can do is use a hopper minecart, because then this is trying to take items from the hoppers above them, and those hoppers are also trying to give it items, so it'll pick up the items 100% of the time. If you wanted to expand this design and use a minecart chest, unfortunately the occasional shulker box will be left behind. And speaking of being left behind, there is this very rare occasion where the shulker box in the middle will break, the item will fall into the middle hopper, and then the one on its left and the one on its right will both fall over to the side and 3 items will go into the single hopper. When that happens, it does mean that one of these will get left behind. I've got to say it though, it rarely happens, but if you use this a lot, you'll probably see that on occasion. So you'll have to go in, grab the shulker box and move it over to the other one manually. And last of all, this uses minecart rails, which means you can have these contraptions really far apart from one another. But I've got to give you a warning message: if those rails go into unloaded chunks, it's quite likely that the minecart hopper is simply going to get stuck on the rail, which isn't the worst thing ever, but finding it and pushing it along might be a bit of a pain. So keep that in consideration whenever you're building these contraptions. So let's start this tutorial. To build the contraption, you're going to need an area of land that is 8 blocks across, 4 blocks deep, and that's going to be 7 blocks tall. And you can see here, this is the panel at the front. Now bear in mind, you're also going to have a button over here, so technically it is a 5th block deeper. And inside this chest are the contents that you'll need to build this. Of course, you've also got that minecart hopper to consider, and of course you'd also be building this twice. So you need twice the amount of materials for each end. So we'll build everything one layer at a time, starting with the bottom layer, which is a piece of redstone there, and then some blocks coming across like so. That's all there is to it. And then in the next layer you want a powered rail, then regular rails going all the way down to the end. This would be where you could put your first powered rail and start sending the minecart off in a different direction. And then what we want to do is put a block behind that rail to the side of it, and then bring the blocks all the way down here to where this rail is, and then go all the way back across, and this one right here just needs to be a slab. So now we place our 5 hoppers in a row. Behind them we're going to put down a lot of redstone with repeaters in between, just like so. Then we're going to come round to this position, place a repeater, put it on the 4th setting, put a block behind it, and in front of it as well, and then on the side of that block we're going to have a redstone torch. Now we're going to place 5 blocks at the back on top of each of these pieces of redstone. In front of them we need 5 dispensers, all of them facing forward. Then at this side over here, a block in that position, same position on the other side, and a piece of redstone down there. Now we will place 5 hoppers in a row, facing downwards into the dispensers. Behind them, 5 pieces of redstone. At the end of that we need a block. To the side of it, just a regular slab. And then in this space we're going to place 5 slabs in a row. Over here we need a slab at this height, and then a block alongside it. And in that gap, just place a piece of redstone. I've placed 5 blocks in a row up the top here so that we can place these sticky pistons facing downwards, like so. And we're going to leave those blocks where they are. To the side of it we'll put a slab and then a piece of redstone over here with a block to the side of it, and then just run the redstone over the top here like that. Now we're going to go around to the back and place 5 powered rails in a row. At the end it'll be a detector rail, to the side of it a piece of redstone, and then a block here with a torch on the side and a piece of redstone above. Now that torch powers these powered rails, but it can be turned off, so we put another torch here which can also be turned off, but it means that these will be powered all of the time. So we're about to test this thing. We need slabs at the front going across like this. You need to place your button there. And also I made a mistake at the very beginning. This was down at this height. There should actually be a block and then the piece of redstone. But anyway, let's press the button and test this thing. Our minecart hopper is in place. You can see it's going along picking up all of the shulker boxes. It's been deployed again. Let's just run that once more. It looks like this thing is absolutely fine. Yeah, awesome. Love this contraption. So that's it from me at this video. If you enjoyed it, please do leave a like. As always, thank you for your support. There is a world download in the description box below. And that's it. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.